Hey guys, what's up? It is Laura Ventura with Pawz and All. First and foremost, I want to thank you, all my subscribers, my followers, anybody that comments on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for tuning in time and again. I love what I do and I love sharing it with you guys. Today, I have a very special guest. His name is Rafael Carlot, and he is with REC Accounting and Consulting. And it is tax season, guys. So as a small business owner and as a person that knows a couple of small business owners, I really wanted to make this interview because I want to shine a light on some questions and concerns that you guys might have as a mobile grooming business owner or even a grooming shop business owner. So I want to go ahead and ask him a couple of questions, and I am going to let him introduce himself first so we could get a little bit of background. But first, I just want to say, Ralph, thank you so much for taking the time today to come on this interview with me and to make an appearance on my channel. I really appreciate it, and you are going to help a lot of people just in this realm of grooming. So thank you.
Well, first of all, good morning, everybody. And thank you, Laura, for having me over. And I'm happy to be here with Pawz and All. So let's get it going.
All right. So if you could just start, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you became an accountant and just like your journey where you are and how long you've been doing it.
Well, accounting wasn't really like my plan. It kind of followed my lap, let's just say that, even though I worked hard for it. So you're speaking to a former athlete with like a dream of becoming a pro athlete. So, long story short, that actually didn't happen. Through my resilience and discipline, I actually played college sports. So through my resilience and discipline, through my years as a student athlete, as a senior, I realized that I was coming closer to getting my degree, right? So, that's how kind of accounting came about. And I remember there was a time that I was home and I didn't even know what I was going to study. So my mom was like, well, if you pick accounting, you probably always have a job. So that's really how everything went down. So, and then when I graduated, I was like, well, I got to do something with this degree. I came back home. Home for me is actually Miami. And I started working for a small public accounting firm down in Miami. Got some years of experience. And then I got recruited by a corporation based out of Miami. I worked there for a couple of years. And then after that, I realized that I kind of wanted to, go back to, to the public service, serve small businesses, individuals, and help them organize their finances. And, I went on my own journey. Just like everyone was speaking to with small business, I took that leap of faith, and here I am today.
Nice. So how long have you been an accountant?
10 years.
10 years. And then you've had your own business for how many years?
3 years.
Oh, nice. Okay. And can you tell us like what type of athlete you were?
Baseball player.
Oh, you were a baseball player. Okay. And so like, what do you specialize in? Do you specialize in small businesses, or do you specialize in just regular people with regular jobs?
Let's just say that my experience has started with like regular people, the regular businesses, small corporations for the most part. And, it has grown into small to medium. That has been my experience. But also the fact that I'm an athlete myself, a former baseball player, that has also transitioned into, providing the same services to baseball players, other athletes, and also entertainment.
Oh, nice. Okay. All right. Next question. How early is too early for a small business owner to get an accountant?
There is no really too early when it comes to, furthering your business or coming up with a plan for your business. And when it comes to that time to speak to an accountant, it's never too early. The reason for that is because, even when you want to start your, having that plan, you want to be properly prepared, making sure you're taking the right steps. So and once that happens, obviously that's going to take you in the right path to start the right way with the right step. So it's like basically never too early. Even if we think that we're not making enough, money, let's say, or income, having the right plan will help you stay organized in the long run.
Okay. So what are some of the things that a small business owner could run into if they don't go ahead and seek the advice of an accountant?
Nowadays we see most businesses struggling with, poor record keeping.
Okay.
the complexity of tax compliance, and a lot of times we find businesses paying, lots of taxes, and struggling with the complexity of not understanding, a lot of the compliance and regulations that come along with having a business and the tax portion of it. Our EC, we typically, assist businesses in keeping their finances organized, and giving their small business owners that, peace of mind, and help them with tax planning. At REC, we've seen many small businesses, through proper record keeping and an organization, save thousands of dollars in tax. And obviously, taking other opportunities to grow their wealth.
Nice. Yeah, I could understand that, because as a small business owner, it's like we want to, like in the beginning especially, we kind of want to cut corners, maybe save money, but then in the long run, we're not really saving money. And we're trying to do everything ourselves and not going ahead and reaching out to professionals that actually do this for a living. So it's pretty much the same thing as a client just being like, hey, I kind of want to save a couple of dollars. Let me just buy some clippers and groom my own dog at home. It's never going to turn out the same. So you might as well, as they might as well just hire us professional groomers. We might as well hire people that are really good with numbers as Rafael, and and let them handle what they're really good at. So what questions should we be asking before picking an accountant? Because I feel like picking an accountant is just like, anything to do with numbers. It's like such a touchy subject for some people. And also like taxes is kind of very scary. So it has to be somebody that obviously like we trust and we know that they're going to do a good job at. So I just wanted to ask you, like, what are some things that we should be asking before going ahead and hiring somebody?
I think, you kind of nailed it in some of the things you just said. Sometimes, someone to handle our finances, we want someone that we do feel comfortable with. There is a lot of qualified professionals out there that, they do have knowledge in many different areas and they have the experience required. But a lot of times, that doesn't mean that you feel comfortable, or that doesn't mean that they have a way of working with you that you will feel comfortable having that continuous partnership, right?
Right.
So I will say sit with the accounting professional and get a feel for them. Ask as many questions as you can in terms of what it's gonna be right for your business, and if you feel comfortable as a small business owner, then you feel that that's the right person for yourself, then it's okay to move forward with someone that that you feel comfortable and that's going to give you the right advice based on what you see in front of you.
Okay, so with that being said, how can an accountant help a small business owner that has a mobile grooming fleet, or even just one mobile grooming van or a grooming shop? Like, how can they assist? Because I know that with grooming, and if you guys are groomers, you guys know that it is a lot of money in. It is a lot of cash flow every day if you're doing it correctly. So how can an accountant help us?
I would say that, when having a small business, think of yourself as being a CEO. An accountant and everyone else around you will help you build your business properly. And when I say everyone else around you is, make sure you have the right team. A lot of times as a small business owner, we have to wear many hats. And a lot of times we think we know it all, and then we shy away from consulting somebody because we may think it may be too costly as a small business or as a beginning business. But that's not always the case. Take the step and speak to an accountant and other qualified professionals in other areas of business that could give you the right advice when it comes to getting your business in the right place and starting with the right step, let's just say. And then to be a little more specific, how an accountant can help you. I think I kind of mentioned that at the beginning of our conversation. Is we, as an accountant, we see a lot of businesses are struggling with poor record keeping, and the complexities of tax compliance. So I think that will be something which an accountant can give you the right guidance and what are the right steps to take. Especially at the beginning, and not make those mistakes that will be costly, that we don't want for a small business or a beginning business.
Okay. And so how can you guys help us with like growth? So say we want to continue building our business. Like are you able to like chime in and look at our numbers and give us like some strategies of growth, and also like tell us, okay, you could buy another van or you could open up another storefront. Are you able to do that?
Definitely. Especially something I probably feel like I'm going to repeat something I already said, but it's like the third time. But I believe that, having proper record keeping and being proactive. Being proactive means, like I mentioned before, is, sit down with a qualified professional and speak your mind out and ask questions. Don't shy away from, taking that first appointment or meeting and speaking to a qualified professional that could open your mind about different ideas. And, especially at our REC, something that we do is we give give our clients the opportunity to speak their mind and kind of tell us what their plan is. Okay. Based upon that, then we provide the right guidance, and a lot of times we refer them to the qualified professionals that will help them get to their goals. And like I said, get yourself with the group of people that will form the proper team for yourself in the sense of getting your business organized, having the right tools around your business. Not only, I know I'm in the finance side, but I know there are other areas that are also important: compliance and human resources and, law. So from our perspective, what I would say will help people is just really find out the best way of, maybe financing a van, like you said. What are the options out there that we do here in other businesses and how people are doing them? And what are the best opportunities that, to save costs and so many different financing options, so on and so forth. And there are so many different things that an accountant or a financial advisor or other business manager can provide, that taking that first step and consulting with them will definitely save you lots of money in the long run and in the short run as well.
Now, what other financial professionals should we be seeking, like other than an accountant, in your realm of work?
So just to kind of mark the differences between the two, an accountant or between the people that I will suggest that we all see, that make sure that you also find yourself a good financial advisor, because an accountant is someone that will help you organize your finances and assist with your tax complexities and compliance. But a financial advisor will be someone that will assist and provide strategy to build wealth.
And you guys pretty much work hand in hand. Like,
correct.
Like you guys could go ahead and like send files to each other to see
Correct.
Right?
Just to put it in perspective, lots of times with the client base that we manage, we do have a lot of the financial advisors that are our partners contact us and ask us for our clients' numbers, how they're doing year to date in a particular month, in a particular year, or in a particular period. Obviously, it's very important. That's why it's important to stay connected. And I continue mentioning that small business needs to have a strong team, not only one side of it, but also other aspects of business that is also important, because we are all connected. Like I was mentioning, there's a lot of times that we find financial advisors asking us for different reports to see availability on finances and how these finances are organized to be able to reach, that goal that I mentioned that we all want as small businesses.
All right. Thank you so much for that. Now, I wanted to ask you, how should small business owners prepare for tax season?
I think one good step is, staying organized.
Okay.
Gather all your other documentation that is impacting your business and your finances. Have a conversation with your accountant. Have a sit down. If that's not possible, anything. If I know nowadays there is a lot of digital ways to communicate to different channels or tax preparations. My recommendation is, like I said, try to sit down with a qualified tax professional in the case of preparing your tax return, or make sure that you hire someone early in the year. Another one of my recommendations is be proactive. If here our REC, what we do is we try to hire or work with our clients through the year as opposed to after the year ends. And that gives us the opportunity to be proactive and provide our clients with tax advisory. So when the year end comes, then we have a very clear idea of what's going to happen and we're not being reactive.
Okay.
We're already telling our clients, hey, this is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Come October, November, we have already had a conversation. Then come January, which is time to prepare the tax return, we're not running like a deer in the headlights. We kind of have an idea of what's coming in. Yeah. But I know that this is something that typically happens. Like I've mentioned before, we see a lot of businesses struggling with poor record keeping. And then, come tax season, which is January, February, it's already messy. The year has already gone by. There's not much that can be done. So if that is your case, just have a sit down with a qualified professional and, just run through all the bullet points or all the different aspects or factors that are impacting your income and your business to make sure that everything's covered when it comes to filing your tax return properly.
Thank you for that answer. Now, I have one more question. And I know that you said that bad bookkeeping is a mistake that small business owners make. I want you to kind of dive deep into that and let us know some ways that we could avoid bad bookkeeping. So like, for example, I know that one of the ways that we could avoid doing this is to make sure that we keep everything separate.
Okay.
Like we're not using our personal cards for our business transactions and vice versa. So is there any other strategies that we should be using to make sure that our books are clean?
The main focus to stay organized is really making sure we have different bank accounts now.
Oh, okay.
One for personal, one for business, along with your credit cards.
Okay.
One personal credit card and a business credit card, or multiple accounts if that the business requires it. But making sure that we have our personal and business bank accounts and finances, separated is the main focus. Right. Now, when it comes to the spending habits, when it comes to the income that comes into the accounts, let's just make sure that we behave the same way, that we understand what is business and what is personal. Okay. For example, I'm going out for dinner with my friends and there's no really business conversation, it's just my personal debit card. Then if I'm going out for business, having a meeting, having a coffee with a potential client, let's just use the business debit or credit card. So I feel like, that's a good startup point. And then when it comes to a lot other complexities, my recommendation is, sit down with a professional that could help you make those decisions and get you educated in that area. Obviously, if it'll be ideal if, the business person already knows what's going on. But a lot of times there is complexities on how keep proper record keeping for financial reporting purposes and tax purposes. So it's always, I always recommend to go and, have a sit down with a qualified professional.
Nice. And so should we go ahead and find an accountant in our state? Because I know that different states have different regulations, right? Like, would it be okay for me to go ahead and find an accountant in California? Like, would that make sense? Like, is it okay for somebody to find an accountant out of state? That's what I wanted to ask.
Well, okay. That's actually a good question. I think it depends. Okay. But that doesn't restrain any CPA. It's a license that could serve nationwide.
Oh, okay.
Now that there are professionals or CPAs that focus in one state or the other, have more of an expertise in one state or the other, that could potentially happen. Okay. Like I said, at the beginning, have a sit down with someone that you feel good with and see, what you're doing as a small business is something that this person can handle. And get to know them a little, more about what areas of expertise they have and what they focus on. But to go back to your question, it doesn't really matter where this person is based out of, because a qualified professional can have jurisdiction nationwide, even though they might have a stronger focus on, in one state or the other.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thanks for clarifying. Now, before we wrap this up, is there any other mistakes that a small business owner makes that you want to talk about or you want to warn people about and just bring light to, other than bad bookkeeping and not keeping things separate?
Oh, that's also a good question. I feel like, your first question kind of took me to that answer, is that we sometimes we think, it's too early.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't necessarily say that's a mistake. That's more also sometimes
Yeah, you feel like you're not making that much money. You're just like,
exactly.
Whatever. It's a little.
We are afraid of, speaking of a CPA, we see the CPA or the financial advisor or the attorney being like too big for us, but that's not always the case. Just, run your chances and try to have a meeting with a qualified professional. We'll be more than happy to, sit down with you guys at REC and take some time to talk about your plans, But I will say I wouldn't say necessarily a mistake or a big mistake or mistakes that they make, but it's more of a maybe not knowing enough to go out there and
thinking you're too small.
Exactly. So, it's never too early. You're never too small. Just take that step. Make sure you have try to have a meeting with a qualified professional that I believe you will have a better experience moving forward with your finance and with your small business in general.
Thank you so much for that and for the insight. I know tax season is very scary for a lot of people, especially small business owners. But I feel like if you go ahead and get somebody on your team that is a professional at numbers like Rafael, and everything is organized, and you shouldn't really be worried. Everything will be easy breezy. And if you want to grow your business, it's going to be an amazing tool because you'll just have all the strategies to be able to grow, and all your books will be clean. And that way, if you want to get a loan, or I don't know, you want to get another storefront or another van, then you're going to be able to do that a lot faster than kind of just, having to put your numbers together and not knowing how much you're bringing in and not knowing how much you're spending. So guys, as a small business owner, as a, mobile grooming boss for about 6-something years, I too thought that it was too early on to have an accountant on my team. I wanted to control all my finances. And to be honest, I let go because what I'm really good at is grooming, and I don't want to think about numbers. I know how to make money grooming. I don't want to think about numbers, so I'm going to leave that up to the professionals. And I have been very organized, that I could say, but, there's always room for improvement. And because I'm wanting to grow, I really need somebody like Rafael on my team, and also, the help of a financial advisor. So I'm going to put his link below if you guys want to contact him and set up a meeting. I will put his contact info below. And again, I just want to thank you guys. Thank you, Rafael, for taking the time to be here and share all your knowledge with us. Guys, if you don't know, I have a course. It's called Mobile Grooming for Bosses. It's 9 chapters long. I literally take you guys from the A to Z. It's very straightforward, very ABC 1, 2, 3 on how to build a successful mobile grooming business. So I'm going to also put that link below. I also talk about finances because as groomers, if you are a groomer right now, the cash flow is pretty intense. It's day in and day out. So you have to make sure that you are very organized. So there's a whole chapter on that. And to register, you do have to book a call with me because I do want to hear your timeline. I want to know your plans and your goals. And I really want to make that happen for you guys. All right. Up and out. Love and light. Laura Ventura. Bye.